beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Healing Honey. If it's your first time here, then welcome. In this space, I love to talk to us about feminine energy and our spiritual journey, how we can heal ourselves from the inside out, which is what I really consider self-love and real self-care. If you're on this channel, I know that you are awakening to inner truths and your journey is blessed and divine. And so I like to speak life into us and remind us of just what we need to hear. Okay, and so if you resonate as a divine feminine being, a woman who is striving to live in her higher nature every day, we work so beautifully with the divine masculine, the men, right? And love is what's going to heal us individually and the earth, everything around us, and it's going to connect us to our higher self-love, right? To truly love the divine masculine, we have to be right within ourselves. And so I want to talk about some wounded feminine aspects that we want to make sure that we are not living this way, because it harms men, it harms the divine masculine. We cannot be in distorted feminine energy. I'm going to talk about what this looks like and how men can protect themselves from this, right? Because we need each other, but we could also hurt each other. So it's important to just be honest, be awake, and aware. Okay, so one of the feminine superpowers that we hold is our ability to be in tune with our emotions, where the masculine is more logical, practical with the mind, and the outside world, they're associated with the sun, the things you can see. They're out there building, right? Think of construction workers or systems on earth, right? Structure. The feminine is more in tune, and her superpower is with the inner world and your emotions. And so tapping into your intuition, to your higher self, connecting with the spiritual realm, creation, being creative, being nurturing and loving. And so in this way, we are able to help guide the divine masculine, right? Our men, like, think about how a man, when he's trying to make a decision in his life or about his business or something, a lot of times he'll go to his woman to get some advice, like how does she feel about it, right? And we do this for one another. Okay, well, a distorted feminine energy looks like using her emotions to manipulate the masculine. That is distorted feminine energy. You cannot mishandle and misuse a man's trust, anyone's trust really, but we're talking about feminine and masculine dynamics. So you are in distorted feminine energy if you are trying to manipulate a man with your emotions. Okay, and we want to be aware of this because it comes down to trust. If a man is trusting his woman's judgment and is susceptible to her feelings, because when there's love involved, a man is going to care how his woman feels. And so if she's trying to use her emotions to manipulate him in a negative way, this is distorted feminine energy. It's taking the purity out of it, like it's deceitful. And so be aware of this. Like, we have to cleanse our own self. And I want you to recognize that anyone watching this, your emotions, how you feel, are coming from you. Anyone else in your life is simply a mirror or reflection to you, or triggering you or sparking something within you, but your emotions are your own. We cannot project how we feel onto others. It's wrong to do that. So your emotions are your responsibility. They're no one else's. And you should never, as a woman, be trying to control a man in this way. It's just wrong. So distorted feminine energy. Men, look out for this, but also ladies, okay? We have been gifted with beauty on earth. right? As a woman, you're going to be desirable to a man sexually, emotionally. He's going to crave you. He's going to want you because that's how the creator made it. He made women for men and vice versa or whatever, right? So sexual desire is a real thing and it's natural and it's beautiful. However, distorted feminine energy looks like trying to seduce a man and use tactics, like use sex to seduce him. It's not empowerment. It's not empowering, and it's not women's empowerment to be shaking it online, to be provocative, trying to entice a man. That's not using your feminine power. That's like wounded feminine energy to think in your mind that this is the only way to get a man's attention or to get a man or basically entice, like to get his energy or to get his attention, which is energy, thinking that that is what is going to make him love you or like you, or that is distorted feminine energy. And so I wanted to bring this to our attention because there's a lot of content out there, even on like how to seduce a man and things like that. The only man you should be seducing, ladies, is your husband, okay? To be quite honest with you, don't fall into that trap of misusing your beautiful, powerful feminine energy because it's going to wound the masculine. We are spiritual beings in a body, and if you're conscious and if you're on a spiritual journey, then just be aware that how you handle yourself, it affects everything else. And so just don't think that that's powerful or that's sexy to be trying to entice a man, and it's kind of like using your dark feminine energy in the wrong way. Be in a healthy mindset, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And know that real love means taking the person you love closer to their creator, ascending and going up higher, not going lower. So not dipping down into their lust and their lower nature, because that is not love. That's the opposite of love, and that will get somebody entangled and ensnared. And then you're going to be mad because if you are trying to be lustful with a guy, or if you're trying to entice a guy and you succeed, that is not going to have him just looking at you. That's going to have him looking at everything. Like it's going to have him out of control, and that's why it wounds the masculine. That's not protection. That's not love. That's not being in your healthy feminine. Healthy feminine energy looks like loving a man properly. There's other qualities to feminine energy, like softness and nurturing, unconditional love, and holding your man accountable, like being honest and truthful with him, having standards, holding to it. So having integrity as a woman, first and foremost, respecting ourselves as women, first and foremost, because it affects the guys, it affects the masculine. And I wanted to speak on this because I feel like we as women have to hold our own selves accountable, so that, because otherwise we'll hurt the very people that we say we love. Okay, you guys, so ladies or whomever's watching, okay, distorted feminine energy. The third thing I want to talk about is making sure that we know our own worth within as women and holding ourselves to a high standard in regards to our bodies and in relationships. Because if you are in a relationship with a guy and you're just letting anything fly, like anything goes, even if he cheats on you, like let's use that for an example. If a masculine, if you allow, or you're willing to like be one of many women, this is gonna wound the divine masculine. You're in distorted feminine energy because that is not going to help him. Just giving him whatever he wants, that's like being with your child at a candy store and the kids saying that they want every single candy off the shelf, and because you love them, you're going to buy it for them and let them eat it all and get sick. Like, it's the exact same thing. Just because if I bake a chocolate cake and I want to eat the whole thing, if I eat the whole thing, I'll get sick. And so discipline, balance, fairness, little by little. I don't know what that's called. It's distorted feminine energy. And ladies, I'm coming to you as somebody who's been there, because I remember in my first relationship, when I was like 20 years old, and the guy that I was dating was like a player. He was like the hottest guy in the city, and a lot of girls would come after him, older women, younger women, whatever, and he was just hot shit, right? So all the girls wanted him, or women wanted him, whatever, and would throw themselves at him. And I was in distorted feminine energy, and I didn't have enough self-worth to not tolerate that, because that was hurting me as a woman, and that was hurting him. That's not me showing him love. Like, if you can't stand up for yourself, when you are in some type of sin, it's gonna hurt everything around you. It's gonna hurt him too. So I was hurting and in pain, and he was hurting and in pain. And as a real woman, you should be able to be honest and have boundaries, and there should be a level of respect, because that's real love. To not just give him everything he wants, because sometimes that's not good for him. So when we're talking about divine feminine, divine masculine, there has to be limitations as far as what's going to protect. Like, that's why they say the narrow path, or righteousness, self-discipline doesn't always feel great in the moment. You kind of have to climb that hurdle, but it leads to freedom. And it's a spiritual truth. And so distorted feminine energy looks like anything goes. Oh, he's out there selling drugs. Okay, well, it's paying the bills. Oh, well, he's out there like doing something wrong that could, no, land him in jail or get him hurt. No, it's distorted to be too weak. So as feminine, healthy feminine energy is soft, is adaptable, flexible like water, and but distorted feminine energy is like a doormat where it's just being stomped on, and it's wounding your own self. It's hurting your own spirit. It's out of alignment with the divine, but then it's also hurting the divine masculine. That's not what he needs. Like, a divine masculine man needs a strong woman, just like a divine feminine needs a strong man. So you have to both be a bit disciplined and on the right path, or else it's going to hurt one another. Okay, and this video is getting kind of deep, but these are real things, y'all. Since I've been on my spiritual journey, I've seen some crazy stuff, and this is just real talk. Okay, distorted feminine energy. Now, feminine energy is tapped into the spiritual realm, and we can connect with spirit, but you have to be in a healthy energy, because there's all type of spirits around, right? So a distorted feminine energy looks like using her power or her magic, because words are spells, intentions were powerful. And so if you're a divine feminine being, using your power for good, for protection, for love, in truth and integrity, connected to the Most High, like using your power for good, the good witch, being in the light, transparent. So no deceit, no lies, no being conniving, right? Because as a woman, I see the good and the bad in at least a woman. There's universal truths for men and women, but as a woman, I've seen both throughout my life, and especially on my spiritual path as I've awakened and even looked at my own shadows, I'm able to decipher right and wrong. Plain to see, like, right or wrong. That's it. And so distorted feminine energy looks like using her magic, casting spells, using her power for wrong, to disillusion, to manipulate, to cast spells that bind versus freedom, to be lying, to try to cause confusion because there's still dark energy within herself. So then she's spewing that out into the world, and you'd be surprised because there are some people who masquerade as divine feminine beings, but where's their heart at? Is their heart pure? Do they have clean intentions? Real love is selfless, and you should be ready at any moment to answer to God. And if you cannot, then you know something is off. And so this goes without saying that if a woman is aware of her power, but is using it for bad and evil, to cause confusion on purpose, then it's of course going to wound the masculine deeply, though. And you can see this in all types of relationships, like mother relationships, aunt, grandmother, friend, best friend, partner, whomever it might be. And so then that's why I just wanted to clarify, like, how we should be in using our feminine energy for the good of ourselves and others, and not blurring the lines. You know, one thing is, like, when you're serious on your spiritual journey, we still have an ego. We have to defeat the ego, or at least become aware of the ego. When you're doing something wrong, you have to be able to own that and face that. It shouldn't be different because it's you. That's called pride. When you can't look at your own shortcomings and you think you're so perfect and untouchable, but you're not. Everybody is susceptible to fall into sin, men and women, but I'm speaking to the women because as we awaken, as we step into our power, we want to use it wisely. We want to use it from a place of love to truly empower others to speak life and love, but with truth and integrity. So drop me your thoughts on this video. I would love to know. I'm sending you so much power and healing and love into your life. Take care of yourselves, and let's take care of one another. I'll see you next time. Bye.